I knew he was coming up for 140.
Yeah.
So he fight me at 47.
He's desperately trying to cover up. Ali won't extend himself while out against the rope. But Ali smells blood.
Now there, we have something. And Mayweather grabs hold. He's forced to grab hold. He's not used to taking clean punches. Body shot from Mosley, and now the crowd rise. Mosley. Yeah, Mosley showing a little feint before he throws the punches.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Against the Ropes. I am Gio Garcia. I am alongside Christian Mosqueda and Lily from Chicana Boxing. Episode number 57. That's it?
Right.
Oh, man.
So-
Come on, man. Wake up,
It's
wake up.
It's 57. It's 57.
All right, we have a very special guest in the building. Maybe that's why you guys are quiet, right?
I think
A
we're
very special guest in the building. Hall of Fame career. Fought the best of his era. Fought everybody. One of the best welterweights to ever do it. And now his son is fighting, continuing that legacy. We have the great Azucar. Sugar Shane Mosley.
Man, welcome, man. Welcome to
Shane.
it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I
And-
appreciate it.
And he
It's
said
our
it.
pleasure.
Yeah, Gio said it best. You fought everybody in an era now where it's, people pick and choose, and you see some names, but you don't see the names. You see your resume. You have everybody from Fernando Vargas to Ricardo Mayorga, Antonio Margarito, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao.
At their
Pacquiao.
prime, all of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's why I hate naming names, because we're going to forget somebody.
Yeah,
We're always gonna-
somebody, yeah.
Margarito.
everybody.
Margarito.
You know what? I'm glad you're here because a
Yeah.
couple of episodes back,
Uh-oh.
this
Oh.
gentleman across
Uh-oh.
from you right here,
Uh-oh.
we had a whole discussion about how he said that we couldn't prove that Margarito was cheating. What are your thoughts on that, Mosley? Since
Wait,
Yeah.
let me clarify. Let's not start
Go.
any drama here. So they're claiming that he was cheating all along, right? Obviously,
There's
against
some
you-
other fights he was probably
before
treating.
prior.
Okay, people can make assumptions, but
Yeah.
nobody can.
He got caught against you, right? And that's all I
Right,
was saying.
right.
We can't say for a fact before whether I'm not defending him, but
I noticed that when he fought Cotto
Yeah.
the first time, he had Cotto busted up, but
Mhm.
he kind of had Cotto busted up the second time too, a little bit. Even though Cotto, they said he won the fight,
yeah,
but he still was landing hands on Cotto the same way, and Cotto was still kind of bruised after the fight. If you seen it, not as bad as it was the first time, but when my coach brought the hand wraps to the dressing room right before the fight, and they showed the past prayer, I mean, it was evident that he was doing that, and it was Capetillo, which is his coach,
Yeah.
which I knew too. He was saying he was going to make his hands feel better, or not hurt, because it was probably hurting because it was punching, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think that he thought there was a little edge, so they wanted to use that edge in the
Yeah.
fights, and that,
Yeah.
that's not a good idea. And a couple of sparring partners said that they kind of got hurt
Yes.
from him sparring
Uh-huh.
with him, and not knowing why they're feeling the shots the way they are. So I mean, it could have been a good while, and nothing happened. You put plastic pearl in your hands, and it's the regular, and then you go outside. When you start boxing, then the sweat causes it
that's
to
what
turn
they
more.
say, right?
Yeah, the sweat causes turn more into cast. But he was using the knuckle pads. They made him as knuckle pads, not the whole wrap, not the whole thing.
Yeah,
just
the whole cast.
Not the whole cast. It was
Yeah.
just the knuckle pads,
Oh.
and that's what was found in the wrapping.
Yeah, I think Miguel Cotto called them out, and I guess there were some pictures where you see the
And
It-
dentures.
some
It's
pictures.
cracked, yeah.
Yes, that they were cracked. Does that prove that?
Oh, I mean, it proved already because when we went to the back, and the doctor came back and said, "Oh yeah, that's the dust fell off of it." The dust fell off of that. That's plastic pearl. That's why it's no doubt that's what he had.
Yeah.
Whether. I think kind of knew about it, but I think there was more Capetillo that was put it on him to so these are gonna protect your hands, and I wrap hands like calves anyway. Like people wrap their hands really tight, so they kind of thinking it's not gonna make much of a difference. But That's very dangerous. And the doctor did. That's what the doctor came back. Commission came back and looked at it. And said, oh yeah, that's platypus.
It's interesting that you say that because we had Alfonso Gomez as well on the show, and he said when he sparred Margarito that he broke his nose.
Yeah, and a lot of people said something about the eye socket being broken, stuff like that. So. That's dangerous, especially for somebody that's fighting like Margarito. I say I put most of the blame on the coach because the coach knows better than that.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what I can do to another fighter. And Margarito's fought too, but most of it should go to the coach.
Now, what goes through your mind when you hear that? Like he has some weird stuff going on with his hand wraps going into the fight. What goes through your mind?
Well, I really didn't think much about it because. With the way I trained so hard with so many people that I felt that I don't care what he does.
Yeah, nothing's gonna stop me.
I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna beat him. You know what I'm saying? And I knew because I was in the ring sparring with Librado Andrade and his brother Enrique Anellis, both brothers, and they was 190, 180. They're strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a few other fighters I had in there that was pretty big. Steve, what's the name? Just other fighters that were top level and were pretty big, and I knew that Margarito wouldn't be able to match my speed, power, anything, and I think that I have a much of a better advantage fighting West Coast type of fights because I grew up here in the West Coast, and that's what I was explaining to a lot of the people when I fought him. I said, well, his style is complementary to what I know. Mexican style boxing, you know what I'm saying? That's what I can do, So I wasn't afraid, but when he fights people outside, like maybe like Cotto or somebody else, they have more difficulties, more problems because with that style because they never seen it before, and it's difficult, like Chavez and all that stuff. But I grew up in that, so you can't use that same style with me. Yeah.
Started off hot, huh? Thanks, Lily.
I mean, going into that fight, did you guys know you're gonna check his hand wraps? Like, was that
they
a
knew
concern?
They knew they were gonna check the hand wraps, but see what Capetillo did was he made it a knuckle pad, so it wasn't the whole wrap. So if you see a pad and the knuckle pad is it's regular, it's not. There's no plastipearl, nothing. Well, it is plastipearl, but it's not hard yet. Yeah. So he puts it on the knuckle and does a wrap, so everything's it's like a regular wrap. So they check it off, and nobody knows. He takes it off, he cuts it off, and that's it. Yeah. So, it was my coach.
Nazim Richardson.
He took the pad and he did this. He said, like, what's that falling off of here? Yeah. He called commission. So no, I'm taking this with me. So he took it with him. He wouldn't even get back to the commission to make sure that the doctor and everybody, the lawyer, knew that this was happening. Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, going into the fight, you were a 4-1 underdog, right?
Yeah, I was further underdog than that before the fight, like 7-1, then dropped to 4-1. Yeah.
Because he was coming off the Cotto win.
Yeah.
Right, the first one.
Yeah, he knocked him out, and he was knocking out a lot of people. Later on in the bout, like he'll walk him down, and they figured that I was getting older. I think I was 39 at the time. I fought Margarito. Yeah. So they figured I was older and. The next Tiger's coming in. Yeah,
it's crazy because I remember talking to my dad about it. He's all like, "Hey, no, don't sleep on Mosley."
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, I don't care how old he is. I was like, he has that style to beat him.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to watch that.
It was just I've watched Margarito come up too as well, because Olympic boxing, the train center over there where we used to train. So he used to come down spar with Gennaro too as well.
I believe he was born in Torrance, right? Margarito.
Grew up in Torrance,
he was born here.
Grew up in Tijuana.
Yeah. Oh, and then grew up in Tijuana. Yeah, so coming back and forth. So I've been seeing him around when he was coming up the ranks or whatever, and his style,
You've seen it before.
I seen it. Yeah. I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Shane, correct me if I'm wrong. You've seen that style before, and did you spar a Julio Cesar Chavez when you were younger?
Oh man, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. That was a little scary. Yeah. Because
how old were you?
I think I was 19, and he had just fought Benji Taylor and knocked him out in the second round, right? So it was It was Oscar, myself, and Pepe Riley, and it was all on the Olympic team together.
Yeah.
So Oscar was 32, I was 139, and Pepe Riley was 147. So we all got a chance to spar with Chavez, and man, I just remember, Oscar was doing his combinations and was trying to, not really show out, but Oscar was trying to pepper him up a little bit, and then Chavez just stepped in. Pow, with the right hand, bam! I was like, ooh, he just dropped Oscar.
He dropped Oscar.
I'm like, and then he went there with Pepe Riley, and he kind of beat him up a little bit, and I was like, oh man, I'm next. I got to spar with, because but Chavez, I moved around pretty good, and I was jabbing, and it was a good sparring session. Chavez, even after the sparring session, this young man's gonna be a world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw those videos, and I was like, oh damn, Oscar got dropped, and then Mosley going in.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
putting in work.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, he was sparring with so many people. He did 2 with Oscar, 2 with Pepe, and 2 with me, and so it was fun. It was in Huntington Park, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huntington Park. Yeah.
Was that the one that had the banda in the background?
Yeah.
Was that one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, and then they was chanting, "Come on, get him, Chavez!" I was like, "Oh, man, I'm telling you, he's getting little."
Hyping him up.
They was calling me Little Muzzy Taylor. I was like, "Oh man, no, I'm not Muzzy Taylor." I don't know. That's all right.
What did no, Chavez, no.
So he threw one little right. He threw a short little right hand, and bam! And I was like, "Whoa, that was really heavy." Because I think he's not on weight, so he's like, he's like 155 or something. I was probably I was probably like 140.
Yeah, because you look slim. Yeah.
I was maybe like 140 something. Yeah. No, I was actually slimming that. No, I was 140. I was probably 139. Yeah, so he came in. When he threw it right hand, I was like, "Man, that's really heavy." Yeah.
Yeah, because he looked slim, and compared to him, he was like a little bull, right? So
yeah. But he wasn't in fight shape, or he wasn't in shape, but he's probably like 155. I mean, he could have been 160. You know, he was pretty. He was big and heavy-handed.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think you learned from yourself from that sparring session with Chavez?
Well, with Chavez, I learned a lot of the way you attack a person properly. Chavez had a certain way. I used to watch his tapes all the time. The way you come in at an angle, body, head. How to rip to the body, the uppercut, and go right to the body, right uppercut, go right to the left body shot. So I said his style a lot, and I like to use a lot of it. Well, I did when I was fighting. A lot of body. That's why I was known for knocking people out to the body too, as well. Yeah. There'll be sometimes when me and Zach Padilla would just spar, just throwing nothing but body shots. For 8-9 rounds, whatever. So I was pretty good at that.
Yeah. Man, well, we mentioned earlier that you were in there with the best.
Yeah.
All right, let me. I have the list here, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Whole grocery list.
For real.
It's long. I can't remember all of it, so I have to write it down. De La Hoya, Vernon Forrest. I should have skipped that one, huh?
No.
No. Winky Wright, Fernando Vargas, Miguel Cotto, Ricardo Mayorga,
Twice.
Antonio Margarito,
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to throw in our good friend, Pablo Cesar Cano.
Yeah. Let's start with Oscar. He's your...
You know what? Let me ask with a question first, because we all have crazy dreams as children, right?
Right.
Was that one of your crazy dreams, like that you were going to be this huge star, have this Hall of Fame career, fight against the best? Was that one of your crazy dreams?
That was a dream of mine when I was probably like 9 and 10 years old. I started when I was 8, and I determined that boxing was going to be my path to like the greatness. I knew that if I could fight somebody one-on-one, it didn't matter big or small, whatever, that I can be victorious and can find a way to be victorious. Even if you lose, even if I lost, I can always. It was something I didn't do, and I find a way to win. So it wasn't. When a person beat me or whatever, it's not their fault, it's my fault because I did the right thing, what I was supposed to do. That was my concept. But I always believe, I even told my mother when I was like 10 years old, I said, I'm going to be a world champion, be great, be one of the great ones. Yeah. And she knew that I had that competitiveness in my mind, in my brain, and that I was going to go and I was going to really try to be that. I put pretty much, not all of my eggs in one basket, but I pretty much said this is going to happen. I didn't try to do anything else. I knew I wasn't going to play football, basketball, but none of this. This is going to be my sport, and I'm going to be the best at it. So, I I kind of knew in dream it wasn't if he's going to be world champion, whatever. It's like, when am I going to be the world champion, and when am I going to get to it? How can I get to it to be the world champion? And I think that actually started when I signed with Cedric Kushner. That's the only reason why I signed with him, to fight the world champion and, on HBO and all other stuff. Yeah. So
before we get to your question, because a lot of people talk about that, like these greats, whatever sport it is, Michael Jordan or Tom Brady, a lot of people say you're born with that gene, just that competitiveness, that GOAT gene, right? Or some people say you kind of develop that along the way.
I mean, it depends. Some people, I wouldn't say that they're born with it, but they do have, special talents, and that area. Some people have special talents, and they start off whether it's baseball or if they want to be a doctor or whatever. Everybody has their own special power. You just got to find it, whatever it is. But in order to be one of the greats and to be the best at it, mentally you have to really want it. You have to know that you want it. You have to put everything forth. You got to give it all to whatever it is that you're trying to be the best at. And if you do that, 9 times out of 10, there's not too many people that are going to be on that level, because there's so many other different things you have to do in life. Things take you away from, for instance, me being a boxer, I can say, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna dabble a little bit of rapping and a little bit of basketball, and I'm gonna, I want to do this, whatever it is. But then I'm taking the focus away from the boxing part of it, and now somebody else that is doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna win if I'm doing this other stuff,
or catch up to your.
They're gonna catch up to you, or they're gonna some kind of way win. Because I mean, just like, you take the fight with it's all about belief. You take the fight with me and Vernon. Vernon believed, and he came and he beat me, and then right after that he loses to Mayorga.
Yeah.
And Mayorga is not the best technician in the world, but he believes in himself and he believes his power, believes that he's going to beat you and knock you out. So he fights that way. Yeah. He believes it. And he was able to beat Vernon for that. Vernon was a little intimidated probably by his craziness.
Sound like I'm hearing Kobe speak.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. What question?
To piggyback off of his question, you set the standard high for yourself by picking the nickname Sugar. Two of the other people are all-time greats, in Sugar Ray Robinson and Leonard. Was that you did that on purpose to
One thing is I didn't pick the name. The name was given to me actually when I was 10 years old. They started calling me Sugar Shane. I think for Sugar Ray Leonard, and I looked like little Sugar Ray Leonard, and I was moving around. So in the boxing gym, I had a lot of world champions there. I had. In my gym of Pomona, it was Richie Sandoval, Mike Weaver, Albert Davila. Hector Lopez was down there training, and it was a big gym that had a lot of talented professional champions and fighters in there. And I was a little kid sitting at the ropes just watching them. And I think that's another reason why I learned so well, because I'm a good watcher. And I watch their foot movements. I watch how they throw a punch, keep the elbows in, be throwing it with snappy, fast, sharp, and the intent, and the mental intent, the way they look when they're throwing their punches, the way they look when they come to the fight. There's so many different things, they go into that. But I was a true student of the game, and I think that's why I was, as good as I was.
Yeah, I saw a picture with you with Muhammad Ali when you were in
Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
I see him,
How old were you with that picture?
That picture, I think it was, I might have been 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I met him, I did, Muhammad Ali so many times. I would see him at different fights, different functions. Great guy. And, funny, always had little magic tricks and stuff like that, after his career. But he was he was one of the best. He was the greatest.
What was your most memorable memory of him?
The most as far as seeing him, I used to watch him a lot on tape. So my memorable moments with him would be when he's working out and he's talking smack back and forth to other fighters, to Joe Frazier, you know, whatever he says, a lot of mean things, I would say. But I'll watch a lot of his fights to get myself amped up for my own fights because of his confidence in the way he talked and stuff like that.
Yeah. With you, Mosley, I feel like throughout your fights, you were never a big trash talker. I feel like you just did, you know, you're talking inside the ring.
Right.
But one of them with Ricardo Mayorga, I guess he was like the one guy that was just like, can you tell me about that? The press conference, the build up, the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mayorga is. I mean, on both occasions, he's the guy that he's the bad guy, and everybody knows that. I mean, I think like with him and Oscar, they really had a strong beef.
Yeah.
With me, he'll still do that stuff, but then afterwards, like we'll go to the back room or something, and he'll say, "Oh man, you know, I'm just being this way because you know I'm Mayorga. I have to be this way, you know, and I'm the matador, you know." So
You know what that means, right? Matador.
yeah, matador.
The killer. Yeah.
Oh, the killer. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
Oh, the matador. Okay.
They kill the bull.
Oh, they kill the
after.
bull. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Matador.
The matador. So he says, yeah, he's a matador. He's gonna, you know, he talks crap. So that's just what he does. But he's not really as bad as he is. But he does have a sharp tongue and a big mouth, whatever. Especially if you understand what he can say.
Did you feel better after though? Like after all that trash talk to like beat him, especially that second time?
But the second time, yeah, I mean, you know, it was great to be able to beat him once again and for it to be a big fight out there at the Forum. And I was happy that he actually fought me because that was our own promotion that we did.
Yeah.
You know, we made it ourselves, and then and you know it was pretty good. It's pretty much a pretty good success. I mean, they had Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mars fighting down the street. So that didn't really help. But yeah, but it was good though.
Yeah, I remember seeing the clip where you knocked his cigarette off. You just like got him. I was like, oh, he's gonna get him with that right. I was like, oh, that's coming.
Yeah, actually, it was the body shot that I got. I tricked him with the right. I did throw the right hand a couple times with the body shot. Yeah. I synced it in really good.
Yeah. Knocked him out both times, right?
Both times.
Both times.
Yeah. Actually, the left hand both times. I hit him the first time was a left hook, and the last round 1 second to go.
Yeah.
And 12th round 1 second.
Ooh,
I don't think nobody's ever did that.
Nah.
Chavez did 2 seconds.
2 seconds enough. Yo, you beat him by a second.
Yeah, I got him by a second. I beat Chavez out.
So when you hit somebody, do you know, like if you land that good punch, do you know that's it?
When I hit, I can look in their face and the reaction. It doesn't matter if it's the body or the headshot. You can tell if it's if it hurts or not, how it hurts. You know,
If it's a lethal blow or not.
yeah, if it's lethal, lethal not. 'Cause sometimes you can hit a guy and they can fake it and they try to get you coming in. You know, so you have to watch for that too as well.
I asked that because you caught Floyd with 2, and it looked like he was done, right?
Yeah,
he
was
hung
done.
on to your arm for dear life.
He did,
right?
He did, yeah. I mean, he hold on pretty good, and I mean, he took the shot pretty good because a lot of guys would have been knocked out, but I think that was because he was in great shape and he was able to get his bearings back really quick.
Yeah.
You know.
He was good at that too. He
Yeah.
was very good at that.
Yeah.
But how do you think that things would have changed if he goes down and stays down? Because like we said, you already have a Hall of Fame career, but what would that do for your legacy if he stays down?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, people say, you know, Shane is hard, and the only reason why he beat him is because, you know, punches hard. You know? My legacy would have been a lot better.
Because you beat Oscar twice.
You
beat Oscar
I beat
twice.
Oscar twice, yeah. Actually 3 times, but I'm not counting. Okay. 2 times as professional, 1 time as amateur. But
Taking all the credit.
all the credit.
Take it.
Oscar was a great fighter. He was really, really sharp, and a scary fighter to fight. Actually, at the time when he was at his best.
Yeah.
You know. So, but what you was thinking?
How does your legacy change? Like, what does that do for Shane Mosley if Floyd Mayweather, if you knock him out?
If I would have knocked him out, then I would have. I don't know quite. It would have been better, that much better. But it's going to be better being Floyd, you know. Then I would have had Pacquiao to go to, and then, you know, other ones. So it's you know, it's the next one, the next one, the next one. Yeah.
See, I like that. You just take on everybody, right?
Yeah.
You don't just stop at Oscar or Floyd.
Yeah, so I did Floyd, did Pacquiao, and then I fought Canelo. And Canelo, you know, was bigger than me. I think he was 20 years old or something like that, 21. I was like 39, 40. No, I was 40. I think he was 21, I was 40.
Yeah.
I was on the Cotto Mayweather undercard, right?
Yeah.
Big event.
Yeah. So, oh man, it would have been pretty big. You know, it would have changed up things a little bit, maybe history a little bit. But you know, I guess things happen the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. When you look back at Mayweather's career and you look for the moment where he's been the most hurt, I think that's the moment. That's the moment where
he'll definitely tell you that. I mean, he told some of his people that he's seen black. He thought they was knocked out. He seen black. And he thought he was gonna be knocked out.
Yeah.
But he just grabbed on real quick, and he kept his bearings, and he was able to come out of it. So.
Yeah.
So we named all these great names. Who was the toughest fight for your style?
The toughest fight for my style. Well, I mean, it was Vernon or Winky Wright, but Winky was so much bigger.
He
was so much bigger than me.
Bigger,
It fighting Winky was like punching on pillows, like it's like, and he's just blocking them, and then at the end of your barrage, you throw a little jab, pop, or left hand bump, and you know, I didn't feel so bad, you know, after losing to Winky. I mean, the second time I fought him, it was fairly close, but I didn't feel so bad because I watched him when he fought Trinidad. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Well, he did Trinidad like that.
You didn't fight Trinidad, huh?
Huh?
You didn't fight Trinidad.
I was supposed to fight Trinidad.
We would have loved to.
I was supposed to fight Trinidad, but Winky beat me, so Winky fought Trinidad.
Oh, okay. That would have been.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't fight him.
Man.
So Winky and Vernon, toughest.
So Winky and Vernon, and I lean more towards Winky being a tougher, like a harder fight because it's like grueling. It's size and grueling. I'm more tired. And with Vernon, it was technical because I had to try to run in, and he punched pretty good, so I couldn't just run in and fight. I had to like technically try to get in past his jab and right hand. Yeah, so it's more of a technical thing with Vernon.
Yeah. With Oscar, how was it growing up with him? You guys obviously are crosstown rivals. You would be from Pomona.
It was great, you know, growing up with Oscar. You know, I watched him grow as being a mediocre fighter into a great fighter.
Oh, okay.
And I remember seeing him. I think I was 15, 14. Well, I was 16. I was on the ABF, the senior division, and he was in the JO division at 15. And his mother had passed away. And I remember him saying that, you know, I'm gonna win the gold medal for my mother. And you know, I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And then about a month or 2 or 3 months later, he was like 15 or 16 years old, and man, he was knocking people out like left and right in the amateurs, like the left hook.
Left hook, yeah.
Yeah, he was knocking everybody out, and I sparred with him because I had beat him when we were 12 or 13 years old, and it was not hard. It was fairly easy because he wasn't. You know, I was more aggressive and more attacking. He was a little more timid. Not as, you know, his father would always try to, come on, Oscar, you got to. And his brothers were, you know, Joel and all. They were the fighters, and Oscar was kind of like the timid. Little. He was the little brother, you know, and then after that, his mind, everything just changed, and he just was running every day really hard. He was training really hard. And even at the Olympic Training Center, I mean, he put in the work. He was really, really good, really sharp, really sharp. He was probably, even when back in my lightweight days, he was probably one of the hardest I fought. I think the toughest. You know, from where we're at when we're young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be the most scariest fighter, the toughest fighter to fight back then. Yeah.
It's crazy because I seen interviews with him and he says that about you, like, when I was younger, that guy,
that
kid Shane, he's gonna be at this tournament, man.
Yeah, I was the #1 guy, but we was never like in the same divisions, you know. So it was always one up or down, and I was actually bigger than him.
Okay.
You know, older and bigger. So, yeah. So it was kind of like it was actually me and this other kid named Ruben Espinosa. He was the top fight, the number one guy in California. It was me and him. We was a rival. And then Rafael Morales and we had to fight. And Pepe Riley was on he was gold medal. I mean, he was on the Olympic team as well. So and I fought him a couple of times as well too. So that we had our own little rivals around here. So it was like Pico Rivera, East LA, Baldwin Park, Pomona, you had all the, we all would fight, every
Southern
week.
California.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you say that because you watch Oscar, like, you grew up basically, and then later in your career, you were fighting some of his fighters, right? Like Canelo.
Yeah, well,
right?
Well, yeah, that was, they was thinking, Canelo's going to beat me, and I I was like, man, this little kid can't beat me. I got too much experience for him. He's
Irish kid.
Yeah, the Irish. He's not gonna come. He can't beat me, right? So, and he hit me with a good body shot. I'm not sure what round it was. I was like, I'm not going down. I don't care what he does. And I just kept going to it. But that body shot is killer. He has a killer left body shot. Yeah. And I was kind of surprised by him because he's pretty well-rounded for a fighter, a young fighter like that. I was trying little tricks with him, and he wasn't falling for anything. He was blocking, catching, and coming back really good. I was like, this is a good fighter. Yeah. He's going to be great.
Back when you fought him, there was still that narrative that he was this flat-footed kid. With how do you see him progressing? You were in the ring with him. Did you ever believe he was actually flat-footed? And how do you see him now? How has he progressed?
I don't think that he was flat-footed. I think they chose to be flat-footed, not to move around as much. I think that's what they were telling him because he would back up really good. He had good distance. He still had good movement too. Like he would block. We had good defense. He'll block and come back. He'll catch and counter really good. And I was surprised by that. He threw his body shots really good. His jabs came out really fast. Canelo fought a lot of his fights when he was young in the professional ranks coming up and learning. He was learning as he was going, and he was fighting just the right guys. Like Chavez Jr., same thing. Fought a lot of guys, and then pretty soon he got to the top, and then he was good. I think Canelo had the same, pattern a little bit. He probably fought a lot in Mexico and then came over here. Yeah. And so, like I said, I was surprised at the maturity that he was when he was in the ring when I was fighting him. I said, he's not bad, like he's pretty strong. I mean, he's 154, and I wasn't really a 54-pounder, but still, I thought that I'm pretty strong. I can, deal with him, and he surprised me. He's really sharp.
Yeah,
really
I think we have to wrap it up quickly. I just want to ask you real quick about your son because he was in the contender finale against Brandon Adams. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon,
I thought Brandon did good. Brandon did a really good job. Really good job. He's very fast, powerful. And Shane Jr., I just think that he just didn't fight the way he's supposed to fight. He didn't fight his fight. I mean, being in the ring with Brian Adams, what his strengths and weaknesses. It's like when I fought Oscar De La Hoya, and everybody else doesn't know that his left hook is lethal and as fast as I don't know what, but I know that. So I'm able to fight. It's a better fight. Being in the ring with Brandon, you should know. His tendencies. You know what he does. He knows your tendencies. Like you guys we spar with each other at Mayweather boxing gym all the time. I spar with Brandon Adams. So I thought Brandon beat him fairly easy, and I don't think that it could have been or should have been that way. I think that he could have fought a better fight, Shane Jr. But it's kudos to Brandon Adams. He did a great job, and I like him too. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's a
cool
great guy. Great guy.
Friend of the show.
Great
last
guy.
question from you guys before
Shane, just congratulations. You're gonna be you're in the ballot for the 2020 Hall of Fame.
Okay. Yeah,
I know you're with the likes of Sergio Martinez, Travieso, obviously
Manuel,
Juan
right?
Manuel Marquez.
Marquez.
What does it feel like to be, just not only, in the running, but possibly be inducted this
No, he's going to
following
be
year?
in it. He's going to
Yeah,
be in it.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm trying to be nice. Hey, I'm trying to be nice to everybody else. All right, leave me alone.
being inducted fairly early, is a great it's a great accomplishment. It's a great honor. Sometimes people they'll get inducted for years, years, and then finally, 70 years old and get inducted. You know, for me to be inducted so early, or almost inducted so early, it's a great feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. With me, it's any final messages for people that love boxing, follow boxing. They know you. They know everything that you've done in boxing. And again, it's something that I don't think it's going to be replicated because of the era that we live in now. But any final message for the people like that see your name, they're like, oh.
Well, I think that the era is coming back where they're starting to fight more. Maybe they took away the point system and the headgear, so now they're going back to old school fighting. But only message I can say is, you know, follow me on Shane Mosley _ on Twitter, and you can see all the stuff that I'm doing. You know, I'm into and stuff like that. So that'd be great. Yes.
Well, thanks for coming by. You know, fairly short episode. Hopefully we can chop it up someday again.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, man. I
no
appreciate it.
No problem, brother. Thank
you.
you.
You rarely get the chance to talk to someone who's been there at the top at anything, really.
Right.
All right. So we appreciate you coming down.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
you so
that.
much.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back next week. Any last messages from you guys?
Oh, that's it. You can follow us against the ropes, againstdaropes _ on our new Instagram and social media, against theropes.online. There we go. You can see this episode with the great Sugar Shane Mosley. Azucar.
Follow Chicano Boxing as well, ChicanoBoxing.com. Thank you, Shane. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week. Thank you. We out.
Shane, you mind just taking a picture with me, please?
Against the Ropes podcast.
Most people don't know shit about boxing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Gallo. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas, que se muchas ganas, un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Huge shout out to Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview and hope to see you guys soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time on y'all day.
Against the Ropes, #1.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.